Hare Krishna. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhatta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhatta Vrinda, Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhatta Vrinda. We continue reading from Sri Caitanya Caritamrita Adi-Lila, chapter 5, text 132. Ye ye rupe jane se taha kahe, sakala sambhave Krishne kichu mitya nahe. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Shilpa Prabhupada. In whatever form one knows the Lord, one speaks of Him in that way. In this, there is no falsity, since everything is possible in Krishna. So in this connection, we may mention an incident that took place between two of our sannyasis while we were preaching the Hare Krishna Mahamantra in Hyderabad. One of them stated that Hare Ram refers to Sri Balaram, and the other protested that Hare Ram means Lord Ram. Ultimately, the controversy came to me, and I gave the decision that if someone says that the Ram in Hare Rama is Lord Ramachandra, and someone else says that the Rama in Hare Rama is Sri Balaram, both are correct. Why? Because there is no difference between Sri Balaram and Lord Rama. Here in Sri Caitanya Caritamrita, we find that Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has stated the same conclusion. So there is no difference. Prabhupada is saying that these two devotees came to him and they were like, oh, we are chanting Hare Krishna mantra, but when we are saying Hare Ram, is it that we are referring to Lord Ramachandra? Another one was saying, no, we are referring to Balaramji. And Srila Prabhupada said, both of you are right. Balaramji, Lord Ramachandra, both of you are right. There's no difference between them. Ye ye rupe jane se taha kahe sakala sambhave Krishna kichu matya nahe. If someone calls Lord Ramachandra by the vibration Hare Ram, understanding it to mean, oh Lord Ramachandra, he's quite right. Similarly, if one says that Hare Rama means, oh Sri Balaram, he is also right. Those who are aware of the Vishnu Tattva do not fight over all these details. So once one understands Vishnu Tattva, how the expansions, how all the portions, plenary portions of Krishna are all the same, non-different, then it doesn't matter. They both are the same. Both are the same. In the Lagu Bhagavatam, Srila Rupa Goswami has explained Krishna as being both Shirodakshay Vishnu and Narayan in the spiritual sky and expanding in the quadruple forms known as Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, and Anirudh. So Srila Rupa Goswami is speaking in Lagu Bhagavatamrita. In Lagu Bhagavatamrita, Srila Rupa Goswami is saying Krishna is Shirodakshay Vishnu and Krishna is also the Narayan in Vaikuntha. And he is also expanding in the Chaturvyuha. The Chaturvyuha expansions are Vasudev, Sankarsha, Pradyumna, and Anirudh. He has refuted the idea that Krishna is an incarnation of Narayan. Some devotees think that Narayan is the original personality of Godhead and that Krishna is an incarnation. So some devotees think that okay, Narayan is the Supreme Lord and Krishna is just that incarnation. Even Shankaracharya in his commentary on Bhagavad Gita has accepted Narayan as the transcendental personality of Godhead who appeared as Krishna, the son of Devaki and Vasudeva. Therefore, this matter may be difficult to understand, but the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, headed by Rupa Goswami, has established the principle of the Bhagavad Gita, that everything emanates from Krishna, who says in the Bhagavad Gita, Aham Sarvasya Prabhavaha, I am the original source of everything. So it might be difficult to understand, oh, how come that Krishna is not an incarnation? And how come it should be Lord Narayan, who's the Supreme Lord, and Krishna is an incarnation? But the Gaudiya Vaishnavas are saying that Krishna is the original Lord and everything is his expansions. So Srila Rupa Goswami is saying that in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna himself is saying, Aham Sarvasya Prabhavaha. I am the original source of everything. Everything includes Narayan. Therefore, Rupa Goswami in his Lagu Bhagavatamrita has established that Krishna, not Narayan, is the original personality of Godhead. So we see Bhagavad Gita, each and every word, if we try to understand the deep meaning of it, Krishna is speaking about himself. We just have to try to understand what he's saying. He's saying, I am the original source of everything. Aham Sarvasya Prabhavaha. In Bhagavad Gita, he's saying that. So we just have to accept it. Yes, he's the original source of everything. No one else says that I'm the original source of everything. Only Krishna says it. No one else says that. No other living entity declares this. None of them. Even Lord Narayan never says that. But Krishna says, I am the original source of everything. So in this connection, he has quoted a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, 2:15, that states, Swashanta Rupeshwa Itarehe Swaruper Abhyardya Maneshwa Anukampitatma Paravaresho Mahad Amsha Yukto Hiyajo Apijato Bhagwan Yathagnihi. When pure devotees of the Lord, like Vasudev, are greatly disturbed by dangerous demons like Kamsa, Lord Krishna joins with all his pastime expansions, such as the Lord of Vaikuntha, and although unborn, becomes manifest, just as a fire becomes manifest by the friction of Arani word. So when Krishna comes himself, Swayam Bhagavan Krishna, when he comes, all his expansions come together with him in his form. All, because he's the origin of all expansions. Everyone is coming from him. So when he himself is coming, he says once in a day of Brahma, he comes as himself. That time, all his expansions are with him. They are in his form. And so the example is given of the Arani wood. The wood, we say there is no fire in the wood, but then why when we light it, it immediately catches fire? Because fire is there in it. That's the reason it's able to, when we ignite it, it's able to have the fire in it. So, and Arani wood is by friction, just two wood, you rub it together. Arani wood is used to ignite a sacrificial fire without matches or any other flame. Just as fire appears from Arani wood, the Supreme Lord appears when there is friction between devotees and non-devotees. So very nice analogy is given here. Two Arani woods, you friction it, fire comes. Then there's a friction between devotee and non-devotee. What happens? Supreme Lord manifests because he's everywhere. He's everywhere. So he manifests. He's omnipresent. No? So when Krishna appears, he appears in full, including within himself all his expansions, such as Narayan, Vasudev, Sankarshan, Anirudh, and Pradyumna. Krishna is always integrated with his other incarnations like Nishimadev, Varaha, Vaman, Narnarayan, Hayagriva, and Ajita. In Vrindavan, Lord Krishna sometimes exhibits the functions of such incarnations. So the idea that is being, the point that is being reiterated here is when Krishna comes himself, when he says Swayam Bhagavan Krishna, he comes. All his expansions are coming with him. They are all there with him. Narayan is there, Vasudeva is there, Sankarshan, Anirudh, Pradyumna, and all even incarnations, Nishimadev, Varaha, Vama, Narnarayan, Hayagrev, Ajita, they're all in him. And when he performs pastimes, like as he did 5,000 years ago, then sometimes some of these expansions, they will do the function. Like when Krishna is killing the demons, then it is Vasudev Krishna who's killing the demons. Shamsundar Krishna has no business. He doesn't kill any demons. Well, it's Vasudev Krishna who's killing the demons. So, reading on, in the Brahmanda Purana, it is said, the same personality of Godhead who is known as Vaikuntha, as the four-handed Narayan, the friend of all living entities, and in the milk ocean as the Lord of Shvetadvip, and who is the best of all Purushas, appeared as the son of Nanda. So Brahmanda Purana, there's a Purana called Brahmanda Purana. Now, Brahmanda Purana is saying the Supreme Lord, the personality of Godhead, he is known as Vaikuntapati, four-handed Narayan. He is known as Narayan. The friend of all living entities means the Paramatma. And in the ocean of milk as Lord of Shvetadvip, that's Shirodakshai Vishnu, and who's the best of all the Purushas, appeared as the son of Nanda. So all the expansions that Brahmanda Purana is saying, that all these are expansions of the Supreme Lord Krishna. Krishna, who came as the son of Nanda Maharaj, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In a fire, there are many sparks of different dimensions. Some of them are very big and some are small. The small sparks are compared to the living entities, and the large sparks are compared to the Vishnu expansions of Lord Krishna. All the incarnations emanate from Krishna, and after the end of their pastimes, they again merge with Krishna. So the example of fire is given. In a fire, there are many different sparks. Some sparks are big, some sparks are tiny. The big sparks are all Vishnu Tattva. They are the incarnations of Lord Krishna. And the tiny sparks, who are they? That's us, we, the living entities. Where do we come from? We come from Krishna. We are part and parcel of Krishna, and Krishna is the complete fire. And we are tiny parts, like tiny sparks. We are the living entities, and complete whole is Krishna. Therefore, in the various Puranas, Krishna is described sometimes as Narayan, sometimes as Shirodakshai Vishnu, sometimes as Garbhodakshai Vishnu, and sometimes as Vaikuntanath, the Lord of Vaikuntha. Because Krishna is always full, Mula Sankarshan is in Krishna. And since all incarnations are manifested from Mula Sankarshan, it should be understood that he can manifest different incarnations by his supreme will, even in the presence of Krishna. So all the Puranas are described. Sometimes they're calling Krishna Narayan, sometimes they call him Shirodakshai Vishnu, sometimes they're calling him as Garbhodakshai Vishnu, sometimes as Lord of Vaikuntha. And it's not wrong. It's not wrong. They're all Krishna's expansions. So there's nothing wrong in it. They are all the same Supreme Lord. They are the Supreme Lord himself, just expanding. Now, we can't expand, so we are not able to understand. But on the absolute platform, of course you can. So Krishna is doing that. He is expanding, and this is all the Supreme Lord. And then Mula Sankarshan is Krishna's expansion, from which all other incarnations are manifest, just by his will. Just by his will. So great sages have therefore glorified the Lord by different names. Thus, when the original person, the source of all incarnations, is sometimes described as an incarnation, there is no discrepancy. So now the point trying to be said here is that Krishna is the source of all incarnations. And Mula Sankarshan, he is the one how Krishna is expanding. He's expanding. Okay, and so when Krishna is present, Mula Sankarshan is also present. And Mula Sankarshan should be understood. He can manifest different incarnations by his supreme will. So he can, so when Mula Sankarshan is with him, he can, of course, manifest different incarnations. Of course, why not? Because that's what he does. And he can do that even in the presence of Krishna. And so it is being said, so if Krishna is called as an incarnation, there is no discrepancy. Sometimes he's called as an incarnation, although he's the original person, the source of incarnations. So that is how the explanation is given. It is okay? I'm not able to grasp the full meaning of it, but that's how it is given. And if you are able to, then you can please kindly explain it to me. But the idea is that Krishna is the original person. He's the original source of all incarnations. Eteja amsa kalapumsa Krishnastu Bhagwan Swayam. And sometimes he can be called as an incarnation. But he's the original person because all incarnations are coming from him. That's the point. Is that okay? So we'll stop here for today. Shri Caitanya Caritamrita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for listening and enjoying it.